Cardinals. Alongside Jeff Greer, Joey Lindstrom with you. So glad you've chosen to join us on this fine, beautiful Tuesday evening. The rain has subsided and we are ready to go playing soccer. UAB arrives at 3-1-3. They are unbeaten through their last 6 after dropping their opener, Jeff. So this is a team that might be perhaps an underdog coming from the American Athletic Conference, but Louisville, after the dramatic finish to gain a point in the ACC against Syracuse on Friday night, they look to keep some momentum on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting battle between these two teams. You're both playing, they're both throwing out back threes, but you mentioned it, Joey, UAB coming into this game, they're not going to be afraid here on the road. This is a team that's playing with a lot of confidence, coming off of a great win against FAU, scored a late winner in that one. But they've also played North Carolina earlier this year and fared okay against them, lost 1-0. So they're coming in here a confident, comfortable group, know who they are, and we'll be interested to see how Louisville takes it on as the home team.
They're coached by David Lilly, his 7th year as a head coach overall, his first year at UAB. Took over the program after 2 successful seasons at East Tennessee State, where he turned that program around. UAB did not have a win on the season a year ago. Immediate culture shift. Here is Bilal Kamara working that short corner. Kamara inside and quickly poked away by Chris McKenna. So Louisville picking up right where they left off against Syracuse on Friday. A little bit extra pressure in the final third.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you know, Louisville coming into this one, salvaged the draw late, probably felt like they should have been the team maybe in front in that game, especially in the first half. Played well, looking to get incisive and get off to a good start here early against UAB.
There's Ola Arnson. This is his first start for the Cardinals. J.P. Jordan has a hit, and it's blocked away. And David Lilly took Eastern Tennessee State from a 2-win season to a 4-win season in his first year there, and then the following year, 8 wins for East Tennessee State, and included a draw against Louisville in 2022. You were on the call for that one.
There you go. Love that for
So
me.
it was a 1-1 draw.
And I
remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, just like it was yesterday. But no, look, those types of results build team confidence, and that's how you get to 8 wins. But it also speaks to Louisville's scheduling too. They're not going to bring in teams from smaller conferences or less powerful conferences just to roll over them. This is meant to be a tough challenge for them, and that's what we're expecting.
Michael Lee, and that one quickly paired away by Mathis Richter. And goal tonight for the Blazers, Jonathan Monteneau. And on the opposite side for Louisville, you get to see him, A.J. Piella, the freshman from Columbus, Ohio, and Olentangy Liberty High School. He is making his debut for his collegiate career tonight after the injury to Harvey Sellers, non-contact injury on Friday. Saunders Road as a hit. Here's the hero of Friday evening with 45 seconds left to go. Hit that free kick just outside the 18 to draw. That was a pretty incredible. He's got a little bit of a flair for the dramatic, wouldn't you say?
Yes, he certainly does, and he's so dangerous on any free kick opportunity, corners. He's got a great service, really, really good. Plays a really good ball in, and he can take shots too, as we can see from the other night. He can rip a shot and came up big, as you would expect the creative drink stirrer for Louisville to do so for his team late on in that one.
Luca Holenstein, the center back tonight, in the back 3, is also making his first start for the Cardinals. Came over from University of South Florida, so he's used to playing UAB. The Bulls had a win against the Blazers a season ago. For you, Jeff, on both sides, what's going to be a key for either to come away with a victory tonight?
Well, look, I think UAB is going to want to just hang with Louisville. Louisville's going to come after them a little bit here early. You want to hang with them. Consider it the Syracuse playbook. You know, maybe just kind of battle your way through this first half, see if you can get to halftime. Maybe you get a goal or make things difficult for Louisville, and then use that experience of some of these late wins that they've pulled recently to go out and get all 3 points or a nice draw on the road here against Louisville. But if you're Louisville, you want to be a little bit more incisive, getting in behind the defense, making those wingbacks uncomfortable and forcing them deep, and just picking out the right passes. We just saw it there. The decision making has not been there consistently yet for Louisville this season. I'd like to see them get sharper there tonight.
As Guy Gragnano trying to catch up to that ball. Going to be a host of many non-conference matches throughout some midweeks for Louisville, amongst the strong ACC play that they have. But this is a UAB team that is no slouch. Here's Arnson. He's got a hit through. That one's just wide. Matsuno may have affected it late.
I love that. Arnson stepping into the starting lineup, showed some pop in the last time out, and then of course we know at the end of the game shifted into the goal here. But let's take a look here. Really well done decision. He sees a lot of traffic, and I think that's why he was willing to try that. Maybe saw some back post, but I like to see that from the midfielders for Louisville.
This time he finds Gage Guerra on the run. Guerra stops that along the end line. Matsuno thought maybe he was out. Inside, nicely deflected away by Richter and McKenna. It'll be a corner for Louisville.
Yeah, good work, good patience there from Gage Guerra. Trying to just find some numbers to get the ball onto that left foot and deliver a cross in. But, you know, again, Josh Jones not in the lineup tonight for Louisville, and a key guy for them on corners and free kicks, set pieces, and they'll need to find somebody else to step into that role and maybe put Sonder Rhodes' service away here.
Michael Lee up to Ola Gunlea. There's your sort of pseudo service you're talking about with the center back being pushed up. That was a strategy on Friday night that Louisville tried to employ by putting a guy like Ola or Noah DeBlasis up there just to have some height on those service balls.
Yeah, and that was really good for Michael Lee too, to be patient and spray a ball in. And Ogunlea is going to be probably their top target on these set pieces without Josh Jones, and he did well there to spray it or to flick it onto that back post and see if he could find somebody. So a good early testing of UAB from Louisville.
As you mentioned, North Carolina, the only loss for UAB. They defeated Georgia State, North Florida, and just defeated Florida Atlantic for their first American Conference win. American Athletic Conference win since 2022. It was a tough season a year ago. Not a ton of turnover from this team, a lot of newcomers, but some guys that decided to stick around with the new coach, the new regime with David Lilly. He also brought over a former player, Cole Hunter, who was their goalkeeper a season ago for East Tennessee State. Kyle Finley, an assistant coach over at East Tennessee State as well. And Adam Reeks came to UAB after a season at Wofford. Michael Lee entering the box. Lee, and that one's deflected by Alan Melendez, the junior.
They're having to defend out on that right side for UAB, left side for Louisville attacking. And I like what we're seeing here early from the Cards out on the flanks, going right at defenders, trying to get end line and getting crosses in. Michael Lee playing at tempo, awfully difficult to defend.
Road into the box nicely. Headed out by Richter. Kept alive by the Cards and Bilal Kamara.
That was good from Kamara there, a little turn. That was cheeky.
He was bragged upon because he's one of the best on-ball tinkerers, as I know you like to say. Coming over from Limestone, D2 All-American last season.
I just like watching players who are willing to try things and just see if they can get out of the phone booth something special. And he's definitely high up that list, if not atop it, for Louisville.
You definitely don't hear in the phone booth a lot for soccer.
Well, there you go. Now you do.
You hear it about football and basketball.
Dial me up, baby. Let's go.
There's DeBlasis. Started every single match this season as a freshman for good reason. You know, assist in his debut.
I love that from DeBlasis, and he and Ogunle, we talked about this in the last broadcast. I mean, those guys do not act like freshmen. They have really grown into this team and really been super confident. I mean, that's a tactically smart play there from DeBlasis to just keep carrying. Sometimes center backs get a little uncomfortable and they get a little too far up the field and wondering how they got there. And he just kept with it. Nice little flip on there from Subashan too, just didn't quite work out.
Arnson had a little run in there with Simon Heltz, and it's scooped briefly by Lucas Rizzo. And Louisville regains possession with Kamara. Gunlea crossing into that box. Eventually cleared there by UAB. More contact with Arnson. This time with Guy Gragnano.
Believe this would be counted as Sonder Road territory. It's just a little far. He's definitely going to shoot this, I would think. But it's.
I think he's pretty confident after Friday.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a farther attempt, but at this angle, you're at least able to pick a side. And I would think that he would want to try to get something low, like up and down, to just force the goalkeeper to maybe paw it away and create a rebound opportunity. We'll see.
Now, what he's capable of, he's had 6 free kicks since Friday. Like the 7, sends it toward the cage, and Montano is there. Sophomore goalkeeper from Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah, it was what I was expecting in terms of up and down, but just didn't quite have enough power behind it to force Montano to only parry it. Instead, he was able to comfortably catch it.
After the gauntlet of the gauntlet portion of the schedule that Louisville went through, just a couple weeks ago, you had Notre Dame at home, followed by Kentucky. Then you're at Pitt, who's now #1 in the country. You get Syracuse at home. Sort of a get-right game in some ways because you're getting ready for a tough ACC schedule ahead. After this one, you get a little bit of a break, but you head to Boston College on Sunday. And that's always a tough one because BC, that's a tough place to play. #1 and 2, they're playing some good soccer right now.
Yeah, and then, 5 days later, they're at Cal. So
yeah,
talk about going all over the place for games, man. That is a lot of travel. For college kids, it's a lot of travel for anybody. And on top of that, it'll be difficult games, so we'll want to get some momentum from this one if they can.
UAB hasn't really had a crack at getting towards AJ Piella. There's his first touch of the night. John Michael Hayden told us this is going to be a big night for him just to learn the command that he needs to have back there, because practice can only replicate so many things. It certainly can't replicate game speed. So this is a big night for the young freshman. It'll be fun to see how he does. Great forwarding pass up to Ethan Subashan. Got Michael Lee if he wants him. Try for him, and maybe a little bit too late. Now Melendez knocks this one out of play.
That was an opportunity, I think, for Subashan to maybe try to time himself and have a rip. The goalkeeper was a little bit in no man's land there, in between coming after the ball and dropping off. And I realize it's hard to get your footing right, but I would have liked to see Subashan show those creative chops a little bit in that situation.
We've seen him do it.
Yeah, that's why I was a little surprised he didn't.
Michael Lee, the speedy freshman, got on the outside. Simon Helt just clearing that ball away for Lucas Rizzo to catch up to. Rizzo, 1 goal, 1 assist. The points leader on this team is not in the starting lineup tonight, Tony Kim. He's likely to come off the bench, I'd imagine, shortly here for David Lilly. You made mention of the Ola Arntzen shoehorned into playing goalkeeper after Harvey Sellers went down. That was a ton of fun. We learned that with the new substitution rule, we thought that maybe Louisville had another sub and they just decided to play with 10 late and have Ola in there, but they actually had used their last of 6 subs the final 15 minutes. So they weren't able to sub anybody else on. They had to play a man down for the final minute. Of course, it ended up working out. It was actually the final 2 minutes, rather. But
Yeah,
when a goalkeeper goes down, you get somebody to step up like that.
Well, the one area where that does help is you've got someone, and not saying that the goalkeepers aren't, but you have someone who's especially good with their feet back there that helps generate some possession. I believe Arntzen immediately took a free kick as soon as he switched in.
Yeah.
As goalkeeper. He had a free kick and able to at least punch it down to the attacking third, and eventually Louisville won the free kick that got Sonder Road the goal there. But pretty frenetic finish, Joey, at the end of that game. It was exciting second half.
Yeah, that was a blast. Those are the kind of matches sometimes where, from our seat, you watch those, or you watch those and you're like, all right, I'd like to see a goal. I'd like to see a goal go in. But from our vantage point, you're seeing all those little intricate movements that these guys are trying to just generate a chance from. A lot of physicality. It was a fun matchup.
Yeah, it was super fun. Very chippy in the second half. It's what you would think a conference matchup would be.
Kamara side, kind of there to clear once again. So UAB answering the bell, at least in the final third so far. The first 20 minutes near. Kamara back to DeBlasis, inside to Arntzen. There's the gaffer for Louisville, John Michael Hayden. Rizzo gets in front of this one. Blazers trying to find their first opportunity. No shots quite yet. That one deflects away. That's wide. Would have been an own goal, surely. That deflected off of DeBlasis via a corner kick here for UAB.
An important physicality there at the end from Ogunleye, just to put off. Wasn't quite sure. Didn't see who it was for UAB, but put him off just enough in front of the frame there, as Piela was kind of caught in between as well. Just an awkward moment defensively for Louisville.
Service into the box. Piella steps on it, and you can hear the bench going crazy for him.
Yeah, nice confident moment there for him. Just collect that. Get a moment there to get your feet underneath you. Yeah, just very comfortable catching that. Trouble in the area around him.
Common opponent amongst these two foes is Tulsa. UAB will get them later on in October. Louisville got a hold of the Golden Hurricane in their second match. Had a banger from Gage Guerra and a midfield bomb from Sonder Road for his first goal of the season. Collected by Montaneau. You know what's so interesting? Coach's poll comes out. Pitt at the top. They usurp Stanford, who's now number 2. So you get your top 2 in the ACC. Clemson still sticks around at 4. Denver's at 3. UNC still top 6. There have been so many draws in the ACC so far. We can get into them. I mean, if you'd like. If you just look at Syracuse with 2 draws, Virginia with 2 draws, Wake, Boston College, Louisville, Cal, Stanford, and Duke all with a draw as well. And that's nearly half.
Yeah. Well, that shows you how difficult it is to get results in this league.
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw it the other night with Louisville and Syracuse. It's hard to hold on to leads. It's hard to get leads. It's hard to come from behind. I mean, it's just hard.
You get a team like Pitt, who's already 3-0 in conference play, 7-1 overall. They look like a wagon.
Yeah.
But Louisville played them to a 2-3 finish. I mean, it's just there's some plays that just separate you. A little bit of extra from Ola Gunlea there with the Melendez.
Always a little jostling, and they know UAB knows that Agunlea is going to be their top target on these corners today.
Montaneau is there to intercept there before Gage Guerra was able to get ahead on it.
That was not Montaneau shouting for the ball that you just heard. That is a train horn.
That's the conductor that loves Louisville men's soccer.
But that's great goalkeeping. He made sure that everybody knew he was in the area with his train horn. No, good goalkeeping, and always part of the aesthetics here at Lynn Stadium as the train's going by.
Well, the train was quiet as a mouse on Friday.
Yeah.
It maybe could have jolted somebody on the Louisville team, perhaps, or a little bit earlier than in the last minute.
That's a real dangerous challenge there. Coming up high over the ball, the second in as many games against Louisville. One not nearly as malicious as the one the other night.
Islen Pexenar is our head official tonight. Johan Podolski and Brian Menz, our assistant referees, and Rogelio Alvarez, our fourth official. Rogelio, excuse me. Yeah, there you see it. Gragnano. Tripping on Michael Lee. Lee regains his composure. Back out there. More subs getting ready to go here for Louisville. Leon Kondich and Gaetano D'Argento are both get set for action here at Lynn Stadium. Great matchup of a couple foes each with some seriously good wins on the season so far. Piella comes off his spot and set for the clear. 25 minutes nearly gone here in this first half. Jeff, turn to you for maybe some insight. What have you seen so far?
Yeah, pretty interesting start to this game. I don't think UAB has felt super uncomfortable yet, but Louisville is showing some signs that they've sharpened a little bit in the attacking third. I still think it's pretty obvious when Josh Jones isn't on the field that Louisville is a little bit, I don't want to say disoriented, that's a strong phrase, but just not quite able to really lock in on deliveries into the box, on corners, things like that. But I've seen some good stuff here early, and I do think that Louisville will feel pretty good about where they are right now. UAB defending and playing in the midfield more than really doing anything else.
Subashan and Lee are off. There's Gage Guerra having a good run at it. Ball rattled around. Sometimes the most dangerous ones. Here is Barbosa. And a foul there on Rizzo. You feeling all right? Good energy?
Great
After
energy.
your two glizzies?
Great energy, pounded some hot dogs, watching two good soccer teams. Can't complain, Joey. Surprised you didn't join me on the glizzy train.
I didn't get an invite for the glizzy train. I didn't have a ticket. Always looking to get glicked up. That was at a wedding recently. That was the post-wedding snack was hot dogs. A hot dog bar.
I love that.
With all
Got
the
married in
toppings
New
and
York.
everything.
We had a hot dog and a pretzel after our wedding.
There you go.
There you go. This is nice stuff here. Kamara's been very sharp tonight.
Swift with his decisions, too.
Yes.
Here he is again. Brilliant on the ball. Moving to that right side. First couple weeks he's playing on the left. Here's D'Argento. It's on the road, nobody home. There's Kondich. Had that epic late goal against Kentucky. Sent through by Kamara. And that came in the final 3 minutes. Arnson, once again, McKenna up top. Kept alive by Louisville in the attacking half.
Well, and Kondich scoring like that, and we're talking about Kamara tonight, I mean, that's what you want from your younger guys, is being decisive and making plays in moments that, usually you would expect your big drink stirrers, your seniors, your leaders to be making, but when your younger guys are doing it, it really builds a belief in your team that there's a lot of depth in your squad.
Nice clear by Piella. McKenna, who came over from East Tennessee State with his coach, Jake Kelleralls, who is also on the pitch at the moment. He came over. He was originally committed to East Tennessee State and decided to flip his commitment to get over to UAB to follow his coach. DeBlasis, maybe slightly reckless, playing really aggressive with Rizzo. And there's a player down after the contact with Noah DeBlasis. I believe that is Ola Jessen.
Now, the first time tonight that the referee has had to pause play here for physicality as DeBlasis. Yeah, just those are tough because, you know, he's reaching out for it, and I think Jessen was kind of tilting in a way that made it even more uncomfortable, but looks to be okay, which is good news. Jessen had an unbelievable goal for UAB against FAU. Carried in from the right side, dribbled through multiple defenders and finished. And they got 3 goals with an XG under 1. So, I mean, that just shows you the computers didn't think that UAB was going to be scoring on the chances that they took, and they did it anyway.
Not to be underestimated. Piella intercepts that service. Nicely done by the freshman.
Oh, some good stuff on the far left flank, though, from UAB. Good interchange there to get a cross in. And equally as good from Piella to squelch it out.
In the all-time series, the Blazers lead 10-1 and 3. So the last time these two teams played was in 2004. They had 2 draws, 2003 and 2004. And Louisville, last time they won in this series was 2002.
Different times. Different times. Louisville, we were talking about this earlier, the program success under Ken Lola as it's become a powerhouse program and moving to the ACC, really difficult league, obviously. But Louisville has sustained its success over the last couple decades. You could see right before the substitutions, John Michael Hayden talking about how much space there was between Louisville's attacking 3 and everybody else. And basically what that is pointing out to his staff is going to be, our guys don't have options to pass through the midfield of UAB right now. They don't have places they can go with it. How can we connect them?
Gaetano D'Argento going to try to find that with Kondic, just too lengthy on that ball.
D'Argento's a dangerous player out on this wing, and it's good to see him out there for Louisville. He's a guy who can be creative for the Cards and help maybe get things going.
Philip Fredall and Chase Vasquez have checked in on the pitch as well for Louisville. The pitch has dried up a little bit since the rain, so the ball isn't skipping too much, but certainly something that we're maybe looking for early, but rain stopped about an hour until showtime, so not as much of a factor. But maybe how does that, when you know you're maybe anticipating a wet surface, how does that change now that it's dry?
Well, I think this field is so good that the drainage is going to be fine. I was interested to see, and I know we were both driving over here wondering if maybe they were going to have to delay warm-ups or delay kickoff at all, and obviously they didn't. But I do think the bigger factor here is it's cooled off quite a bit, which is nice. It was miserable the other night for the Syracuse game, so it's a little bit more comfortable conditions to play in. And this field will be in tip-top shape for these guys tonight.
Amazing the difference just a couple days make.
Yeah.
Especially in the fall. Oh, D'Argento maybe had Kondic. A little bit of a miscommunication there. With 12.5 remaining in the first half.
We're a half hour in, and Louisville really has not made Montano work very much tonight. And the Sonder Road free kick, that was the only shot technically on goal. And the Cards just started strong. They just have not really been able to get into that final third and create anything, cause the Blazers any sort of trouble.
Yeah, a bit of a slow burn here in the first half. Coleman Jennings and Joshua Campbell on for the Blazers. Jennings, a graduate from Vestavia Hills, Alabama, and Campbell, freshman forward from the Cayman Islands. Carson Bryce also in for Love Groff. Here come the Blazers. Barbosa. He was implored to us that he's one of our best service guys. Here's Ola Jessen along the end line. And they are going to call him out.
Yeah, that's frustrating for UAB. They had a really nice moment there. Caught Louisville trying to play out of the back or play through its defensive lines forward, and an interception there. You get numbers and an opportunity maybe to get the cross in. But I think Barbosa just wasn't quite comfortable with the look that he had. The ball got stuck under his feet, and then a wasted opportunity for UAB maybe to get something into the box.
Trailed out. That's out of McKenna. It'll be a corner for Louisville. Saunders Road going to try to find one of the towers in there. Surprisingly not Kondich. Kondich will line up with Road. And he stands at a decent 6'2".
In the corner for the Cardinals, number 46, Saunders Road.
Crowding the goalkeeper here, Montano. Sorry, Joey.
No, you're good. I was just saying good crowd in the stands as well. Road into the box, headed up. Believe that was Joshua Campbell. They actually got ahead on that one. Toward Tommy Case. Quickly taken away by Gaetano D'Argento. He's back at that right back, right winger. He just shifted himself to the left side.
It's just good to have him on the field. He's a good deliverer of the ball, plays a good service, and is a guy who's got experience too. That's something that Louisville is missing right now in a lot of areas.
Good idea there from Arnson to get it to Saunders Road on the run. The best execution, kind of been the theme for both sides. Best shot of the night we've seen was in the 5th minute. There's another yellow there for Tommy Case when Arnson took it from like the ACC logo.
Yeah. Here's a chance here under 10 minutes for Saunders Road. He's going to want to try to get this into the back post area. Maybe Louisville wanting to hunt that second header. See if they can get Ogunle or someone to win a header on the back to Blastus on the back post, put it back across the frame, and hope you've got runners in the mixer.
Elects to go down to Arnson. Arnson. Good left-footed hit. Wide of the net.
Yeah, I think he mishit that. I think it was trying to just shift the look there for Louisville to see if they could get a better angle. But if you're going to do that, you've got to get some service into the area. I think he was trying to hit an out swinger and instead just kind of scuffed it. It had the pace, as you noted, Joey, but not much else.
Jessen inside a Case, looking for Campbell. Yeah, some opportunities, to your point, just coming up empty for both sides. Here's Ivan Jolly. UAB teetering on a chance there. That's just the thing sometimes with these midweek non-conference games, because UAB comes off a big win against Florida Atlantic. Louisville has a few days since that Syracuse match. Maybe hangover is not the right word, right? Because neither team they've had ample time to rest, but there's certainly maybe something about midweek sometimes where you get a little bit of a slow go in the beginning.
Well, yeah, and you're also unfamiliar with your opponent, too. I think that's got to be a little bit of a factor for these teams. They're just trying to feel each other out. The process has just taken us almost a halftime before either team really has figured out, hey, what channels are open for us, what things are working, and I don't think that either team feels super comfortable that they've found the answer to that.
John Michael Hayden shouting where the deep ball. Gunlea to clear, nicely done. Vasquez keeps that alive. Barbosa skies this ball for Campbell. One there from Campbell as he tried to slide underneath Arnson to gain possession.
Yeah, just a second late. Caught him.
The blast is down to Road. And once again, UAB has an answer. Barbosa this time. Been really sound, and that's one thing that David Lilly informed us. He's like, look, we have talent all over the place. What we need to do is just try to intercept what Louisville might try to do, as they do to most teams, just with that press, with the aggression that they play with. I'd say they've done a pretty good job so far. Louisville, though, knocking on the door.
Yeah, I mean, UAB really has not had to sweat a whole lot tonight. Just defending set pieces. They haven't really had to do a whole lot of box defending. Looking relatively comfortable in their shape.
There's Guerra. Stuck in the phone booth down in the corner. Barbosa leans this one out of play.
I got it in your head now, Joey.
I'm going to use that all the time. Barbosa again. This will be a corner. 4.5 to play in the first half. Jeff Greer, Joey Lindstrom with you. Jake Williamson, our producer, entire ACC Network crew. Glad to bring the action to you tonight.
In the corner for the Cardinals, number 46, Sander Rowe.
A nice Tuesday night crowd on hand.
You'll love to see it.
Road into the box. That one's still alive. JP Jordan. Good hit. And Montano's there.
Yeah, second time tonight, a central midfielder for Louisville has seen the traffic in front of frame and thought, I'm just going to see if I can get something in there and make the goalkeeper work. But good job there from Montano. You could see him peeking around his defenders to see where the ball was, and was not going to trouble him right at him.
Gunlea to JP Jordan. Nice forwarding ball to Road. And he's offside. Other matchups tonight. Boston College. What would you call it if you're from Boston? They're playing against BU. Is that the rivalry of the T?
Well, I know they have the bean pot, but
Does the T go all the way to Chestnut Hill?
I don't think the T made it that far. I think it stayed in the harbor.
Okay.
But let's look it up. I'm curious. It is not a. It's called the Green Line rivalry.
The Green Line rivalry.
Yeah. It's a reference to the MBTA, the transportation, the train line in
I only took the T when I was there.
that is the T. It's
Okay.
the T.
Okay. I
It's a
thought T
nickname.
just stood for train.
Yeah.
We're
I mean,
close.
it could.
Another corner here for Louisville, Saunders Road. You would love nothing more if you're John Michael Hayden just to get a goal before halftime. Sent toward cage, wide though. The Blastus.
That was a good ball in, a decent ball to the near post to Blastus. Just a little early. Timing his jump there to the near post. That's a high level of difficulty. I'm gonna try to skim that on or just redirect it to the back post.
Cornell at Syracuse tonight, Liberty at Clemson, Mercer, North Carolina, Detroit Mercy, and Notre Dame, and of course our matchup tonight. Tomorrow night will be a good one. Florida International taking on SMU. That's who UAB has next, is Florida International. They should petition to play the match inside the football stadium, inside Pitbull Stadium.
Oh, I love that.
Dale.
It's a little too Miami for me, actually.
Pitbull's not your speed? A little too fast for you?
A little too old.
You're not Mr. Worldwide?
No. I don't dislike
Mr.
him.
Metro Kentucky?
I don't dislike him. Just, yeah, I'll tell you what, this game could use some of Pitbull's energy. Give us a little juice here.
Well, fireball.
Yeah, fireball for the second half. It's been really interesting. It feels like sort of a boxing match where no real big punches have been landed just yet, but you can tell that both teams are trying to figure each other out. Louisville definitely will feel like they've had a little more momentum in the attacking third, obviously, but the Cards, again, they're not able to get much width. They're not pulling anybody out of their shape and making them sweat at all defensively.
UAB might be able to add some sweat here. Campbell up top, D'Argento to throttle down to Kondich to end the first half. You laid it out really well there. Any final thoughts before we go to halftime?
Well, look, if you're UAB, you're happy.
UAB does not have a shot registered yet. It's been a tough go so far as getting into the final third for this team, but usually when you have a scoreless first half, that's when all the waiting game ends. A little bit of that maybe early game jitters, if you have them at this point in the season, are gone, and now you can kind of open up the taps a little bit.
Yeah, at this point, these teams know each other, know themselves pretty well. They know what they do well, and it's just a matter of, can you click those pieces in a position tonight to get something out of this game?
Good interception there. Isaac Calderon. Arnson got a hold of it. Inside to Kondich, and here come the Cardinals. Great through ball to Saunders Road. Road maybe waited half a second too long, and McKenna got a hold of it on the deflection.
That's what I'm talking about, Joey. I mean, he's got nobody in his vicinity while he's trying to figure out what to do with the ball, and he waits until there's a defender right at him, and maybe he didn't like what he saw, but again, I'd much rather see UAB have to defend facing its own goal with a low ball early in than allowing them a chance to recover a little bit there and contest the delivery.
Too tall for Hohenstein. JP Jordan outside the box. Sends one back in. Nearly a nervy moment there. Richter got a hold of it at the end.
Yeah, one of those moments where the header gets taken, and for a second there, you're like, is that going in? But the last line of defense, they were just able to push it wide before Gage Guerra could get to it.
Michael Lee from the back swapped places there with Agunlea, and Ola gets caught up with Mathis Richter, the German. Arnson playing on the back line. There's Ola Jessen. Two Olas going back at it. We actually have 3 Olas on the pitch tonight.
That's good. I like that.
Wouldn't be surprised if the planets started to align too then.
Spreading the Ola gospel far and wide. I love that. And first couple minutes here in the second half, UAB's front line putting a little bit more pressure on Louisville in possession, forcing them into some mistakes. See if that's something that changes the calculus of the second half.
Set up top, too tall for Piela. We have 3 Olas. We're just waiting for a Como and an Estrada. You didn't like that one?
That was good. That was good. I was trying to contain my on-mic laughter.
No, don't contain it, Jeff. Let yourself laugh. It adds years to your life.
Toddler at home is taking years off my life, so maybe that's maybe I do need to laugh more. Louisville not on the same page again here in the attacking third. It's been a recurring issue for the Cards this year at inopportune moments.
Do you think that, I mean, the lineup has shifted a little bit from what we're used to in the beginning of the year, but you have some mainstays in Guerra and Saunders Road up there. Kamara still in his first year with the Cardinals. Do you think maybe there's still a little bit of that comfortability?
Yeah, potentially. It just,
or lack thereof?
I don't know. It just seems hesitation. There's a lot of hesitation with the decision making, and guys aren't quite on the same page of where they want passes, what space they want the pass played into. It's just it's odd because usually Louisville's very clicked in the attacking side of the field.
There's Kamara. Through to DeBlasis. DeBlasis sent one toward Montaneau. Perhaps looking for service. Who's to say? Regardless, Blazers still alive. Could maybe pull some strings and maybe even pull an upset here tonight.
Well, I've liked the movement forward from DeBlasis. We've seen it a couple times there. That time making the nice overlapping run to the right. You need more of that. You need people willing to run into open spaces and try to get service in, even if it's not always the best. You got to just get something going. Challenge the goalkeeper.
There's Calderon, 1 goal on the season. 8 different goal scorers this year for UAB. Really, some really good parity on this roster. Here's Kondic off a great feed from Guerra. Kondic, a good hit. Montaneau saved again.
But I like that, Joey, because it was decisive. Kondic took a couple touches. He had the run underneath from Saunders Road and looked at it for a second there. Wasn't really there. The defender for UAB cut him off, but a good, quick decision and made the goalkeeper have to get down and block the first attempt before scooping up the loose ball.
Good run from Rizzo. Rizzo working against Hohenstein. He got through. Rizzo a shot and a goal for the Blazers. A fiery pace from Rizzo to get UAB on the board first.
Wow, and an L's down there in the celebration. That's a big moment there. That'll stir up the Cards crowd. But this is almost identical to the goal that Jessen scored against FAU, carrying it from the sideline, from the touch line, dribbling through defenders, and nobody could really put him off the ball. And next thing he knows, Rizzo is 1v1 with the goalkeeper, makes a nice choice. And UAB gets its first real chance of the game, Joey, and they take it.
His second goal of the season for the sophomore. Nicely done, and he may have woken up some of the Louisville sideline as well. The L's down.
I've never seen that at a soccer game before. That's usually saved for basketball or football. But
well, I think the more that these schools become brands,
yeah,
any sport I think is up for grabs as far as
hey, you just
as far as
scored a
the talk
goal. Do
goes.
your thing. Go off, King. That was a really nice goal. And again, this front four for UAB has been causing Louisville a lot more problems in the first 6, 7, 8 minutes of the second half than really at all in the first half.
Calderon trying to make it 2. Hohenstein, good effort, and draws the foul.
I don't know if this will wake this Louisville team up a little bit. It just continues to feel slightly off for the Cards in terms of getting forward. The Kondich opportunity was the best they've looked in those moments. There's just a lot of space and nothing super incisive. I keep using that word. They're just not cutting into UAB really all that much.
Maybe an opportunity here, though. Here's Sonder Road. They're here on Friday. Sends one ahead of the 6. Not quite enough accuracy on that one. Here's Arnson. He'll have a hit, and McKenna there to deflect. Another corner for the Cards coming up.
Yeah, better there from Louisville. And again, this is an opportunity to get your big bodies forward and see if you can find the head of DeBlasis or Ogunlea or Hollenstein.
In the corner for the Cardinals, number 46, Soccer Road.
Player down for UAB, that's Melendez. Their captain, by the way. And some Louisville players contending that maybe he was not hurt. Or perhaps just a little bit of chippiness. I mean, UAB had that advantage on that goal. Oh, it was a little contact there with Ogunlea, maybe after the play. So Louisville's contending there's nothing there.
Feels like a little bit of extracurricular activity here.
Clock stops, of course, 36 minutes, so.
He's going to take a look at it here.
Island Pexanar, head official this evening. I think he's right to. I mean, especially, well, what's the verdict there if it's not in the field of play, right, or not in the run of play?
It doesn't matter,
right?
If there's an interaction that results in that sort of interaction, they can look at it. But from the angle that we saw it, I'll just say I be surprised if there's anything more than the referee saying, all right, guys, come on.
Yeah. I mean, you and I throw elbows sometimes in here.
I don't like my chances, Joey, if you're throwing elbows in here, buddy.
We do not throw elbows, just so everyone knows. And looks like Pexanar has his verdict. You decide at home if you think this is worthy. And Gunlea there, certainly
Substitution for UAB coming on number 9.
something extracurricular. Melendez comes off and Jennings is in. No call is the verdict. So Sunder Road there in the corner. Service in. Headed out by McKenna and Mathis Richter. And this is going to be the first yellow card? No. Kamara and JP Jordan just going to get a quick talking to as Melendez gets set to come back on for UAB.
Yeah, a nice moment here for Pexanar to kind of take advantage of, hey, look, I didn't see anything on that replay, but let's not turn this into a little tick-for-tack deal here as this game continues. But Louisville, you can't get frustrated. We've seen it before where Louisville gets frustrated. And with this group, I mean, we saw it last year. We've seen it earlier this year. They cannot get frustrated. They've got to keep pushing. They've got to keep finding runs in behind. They've got to keep pulling or keep trying to pull UAB out of its shape, but they just have not really been able to do it a whole lot tonight. They got to start finding that energy soon.
And on that goal too, Piella, certainly not his fault there. That was a great run by Rizzo. He was a little bit hung out to dry.
Yeah, there's nothing there on the, I don't know about that one, but arms extend, you're always going to get the whistle, but yeah, no, nothing to do with the goalkeeper. Just Louisville had ample opportunity to try to get physical as the dribbling just continued through the group with Rizzo, and they just couldn't quite get enough bodies around the ball to put him off, and Rizzo did really, really well to hold everybody off and get a shot away and get the goal.
Jolivet for the box. That ball's still alive until Arntzen boots that away.
You know what I'll say, Joey, about the Rizzo goal in a game that really has not had too many moments of daring. That was the daring moment that has been the difference in this game, of someone making defenders have to make uncomfortable moves and decisions to get things done, and they didn't do it.
It really was a great individual effort too to get on that run.
Absolutely, yeah. Really fantastic goal.
Before he had the pass, I'm sure he was thinking, just ball me, Blazer.
That's the type of goal.
Too long.
Yeah, that's the type of goal you tell your grandkids about someday, if you choose to have them.
Jolivet, that was a good header attempt there from Richter, a freshman.
Here's the stat of the night so far, Joey, for you. Ready? Louisville 6 shots, 3 on goal. No goals. UAB 1 shot on goal, 1 goal. That's the difference in this game.
Get paid to hit home runs in the big leagues, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Batting 1,000. What's interesting too, they've really gained steam, and that was something that David Lilly shared with us. He said, I came here in January, got this job at Alabama Birmingham, and I knew this group just had something about them, that they were this plucky, confident group, and they really had no reason to. They didn't win a game last year. Why would they be so confident? They felt like he felt like the culture seemed to fit what he was looking for as a coach, and a coach that has turned around a couple programs as well.
And you can see it tonight. I mean, they've not at all defending, and they have, in the second, ramped up the pressure on Louisville. They've forced some turnovers, and they got a goal largely against the run of play, but this second half they've been much, much sharper.
Inside for Kondich. Louisville 13 goals this season to their opponents 8. Haven't seen the breadth of scoring that we maybe expect from this unit. They're certainly capable, though. They're playing a lot of freshmen. Sometimes that can be a factor. Arntzen. Tutel. Wow, that was a nervy moment for Montaneau. Just a couple inches to the right, and I think that one maybe would have sniped the corner if not for Montaneau's interference.
Yeah, Arntzen trying it a couple of times tonight from distance there, and I'm not sure if that was intended, but almost snuck that in there. I think it might have been. He looked up at Guerra there to suggest that maybe he was looking for him and hit it long, but it almost snuck in from Montaneau, but better from Louisville. Got planes flying over. We got trains coming by.
It's an active Tuesday.
It is.
Muhammad Ali
Transportation
Airport.
Tuesday, I guess.
McKenna chasing down there with Guerra. A little bit of a contact on the run there. Do you anticipate pace becoming a little more, I'll use your favorite word, frenetic here in the final 30?
Well, it's going to have to be for Louisville. They're going to have to start moving off the ball a little bit more, creating spaces. Just a little stagnant at times in possession. It's been better in the second half. I mean, I'll say it's been, Louisville's been a bit more active, but they're still just not stirring things up enough to create openings.
DeBlassis and Jolivet trying to jostle there for position. Ball up in the air for Montaneau on the recovery. And the last time these two teams played, they were both in Conference USA, by the way. Both programs and schools, for that matter, changing conference hands a few times. Louisville went from CUSA to the Big East, eventually to the ACC. Were they ever the American?
UAB?
No, Louisville.
Louisville? Yes, 1 year.
Oh,
in the
1
American.
year. Okay, yeah, there you go.
No, it's a year to remember in the AAC.
They win it
the
that
American.
year?
Well, they won a lot of
In
games
basketball?
in those conferences. Yes, they won in men's basketball. And in football, it was a very hotly contested conference as well. Great times.
Was that?
10 years ago.
Was Lamar here yet?
No, that was
Teddy? Teddy Bridgewater?
that would have been 2018. Here's a
Oh,
chance
good
for
look in
Louisville.
front. Montaneau on the spot before Kondich could get there.
DeBlassis nodding it down. And Kondich just not quite able to handle it. It was kind of right at him. No, I believe that would have been the Reggie Bonifant and Will Gardner season at quarterback for Louisville football.
Ah, that was a classic. Where were you when Bonifant and Gardner were tuning it up? Yet another plane is flying over the stadium, and we have the train catching up. Some energy all around. Kamara is trying to headhunt there for Michael Lee, and Lee didn't take the leap. Rhodes going to try for it. Kondich down, and it's in! Leon Kondich makes it level for the Cardinals. Sander Rhodes the assist. Kondich's second goal of his career.
Both moments really good for Louisville. Kamara coming down that right side. He had runners in the box. They've been missing those staggered runners into the area. Have options for them. And they just stuck around for Sander Rhodes to resend it in. Based on the reaction from Louisville, it's more of a relief than excitement there that they got one back. But of course, excellent ball in from Sander Rhodes and a great finish from Kondich.
Sometimes you just got to see the first one go in, right? And then you can start to move a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see if that's the spark that Louisville needed. I mean, that little break down this right flank for Kamara was, again, the first time that you've seen multiple runners into the box to really present opportunities for the guy trying to deliver the service.
TJ Kahoa Lee is back in. Rhodes trying again. Montano ready for it.
I believe I forgot they went to the Bowl.
That year, 2014?
Sorry, the Russell Athletic Bowl is 2013. They were in the American. I apologize. They went to the Russell Athletic Bowl, went 12-1. It was Teddy Bridgewater.
That had to be Teddy, yeah.
Yeah, 2013.
Who was the one loss? Do you have it up there?
I think this is a sore subject for Louisville fans, but I'm pretty confident it was UCF.
Oh, they were the national champions that year. The self-proclaimed.
38-35.
They beat Auburn in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
Peach Bowl. Guerra trying to make it
some
too.
Life. Sorry, Joey. Showing some life here, the Cards.
It just sometimes just takes one, right?
Yeah.
It takes one little sequence to get you going. That one where Michael Lee didn't head it. And then Sander Rhodes tries it. He says, well, let's try it again. I got guys in the box. Go for it.
Kondich is a good target. He's been a nice substitute for Louisville to just give them a little bit something extra in the attack.
A little more press out of the Cardinals now, too. Guerra tracking down Mathis Richter. Gunlea gets tied up with Ola Jessen. That's a foul on Ola. Gunlea.
Just help Louisville get its defense settled a little more. Smart foul.
Trotted out a play there. Rizzo tried to be a thorn in the side of the Cards. David Lilley's squad vying for its 4th win in the season. Just one loss. They've had the last 6 unbeaten. There's Jack Lewis back on the pitch as well for the Cardinals. Freshman from Blackpool, England. Good run here from Jessen. To Love Groff. Inside, another one! A brace for Lucas Rizzo. And the Blazers carve away out front.
Let's watch the replay here, Joey. It's a really good pass here to shift the angle. And then great run. So the first pass shifts everybody for Louisville, and it forces them to have to worry about a runner and the run out wide. And as a result, the two defenders dealing with it not quite on the same page. And Rizzo does a really nice job of finishing his run there. Great assist. Love growth as well to finish that off. Just a really good job from UAB And a big, big, big goal to snatch momentum right back.
Lovegroth is now second Norwegian with an assist tonight.
But he did such a great job, Lovegroth, of getting wide there, sticking with it. Good delivery, just out of the reach of any defenders. Just a really nice job.
We'll see if Louisville can respond. This game will be on full tilt. Kahoa Lee and Jack Lewis into Blasses. 3 freshmen working in tandem here. Arnson toward the 6. That ball's alive. Kondic maybe had some contact there with Lovegroth. Lewis upends Rizzo. Two goals for the sophomore Lucas Rizzo. Up to Sonder Road. Little flick on there maybe for Kahoa Lee, but Barbosa catches up to it. UAB, a very storied program in the past. It's what David Lilly knew about this program down in Birmingham. And exactly how they might be able to return to some of that glory, being in tournaments year in and year out. Fallen by the wayside over the last couple years. Looking for some serious redemption. Kahoa Lee over top the net. And what a win this would be for the Blazers if they're able to hold on. A lot of time left, though.
Yeah, plenty of time left for Louisville. Just trying to tap back into what got you that first goal. Just see if you can shift defenders side to side, pull people out of space, have multiple runners stagger their runs in different locations to give your guys targets on service. I'd love to see them connect more with their forwards. It just doesn't feel like the forwards really are able to get involved a whole lot. Guerra especially just has not really had a chance to do much with the ball at his feet.
Ooh, that was dangerous there. No foul call. That's true. Yeah, Guerra has not had a goal since the Bellarmine match. Maybe he's got a chance here. Guerra threw ahead, blocked away by Mathis Richter. McKenna was there as well. Kahoa Lee toward the cage and nearly trying for the bicycle Michael Lee if he could have gotten it there. But it was deflected early enough by Melendez. Road inside to Jack Lewis. I like to think if you're Louisville that you're starting to be incisive against this UAB defense, but the Blazers keep holding up. There's Calderon. Rizzo already 2 tonight, looking for more. Piella comes off his line. Nice clear. To Jessen. Blocked by Ogunlea. Barbosa. Jessen is in range now. Look out. A freshman from Denmark. Do you feel like there's any validity, perhaps, to that thought about Josh Jones being out for the second match in a row? You don't exactly have that anchor in the back. Holstein is a well-experienced graduate transfer, but a guy who's been here throughout. It helps to have him on the field, perhaps, to just level set a little bit.
Yeah, he's such a good communicator. He's really good at setting the back line, and then again, such a huge threat. Without him on the field, I mean, Louisville just does not look dangerous at all on set pieces. And it's crazy to think one player could have that much of an impact, but you know, this is a team that's missing Damian Barker-John, Konstantinos Georgalides, guys who are willing to go at defenders. Louisville just has not had a ton of that tonight, and really most of this season. They just have not had that level of combativeness to its attack and willingness to take people on. It's been a little more stagnant. And you just keep kind of wondering who's going to step into that role and help stir the drink, so to speak, for this team.
Carson Bryce and Simon Helt pulled back on for Barbosa and Calderon.
18, Simon Helt, and number 28, Carson Bryce. Coming off are number 6, Gustavo Barbosa, and number 10, Isaac Calderon.
Both great last names of NBA players, Leandro Barbosa and Jose Calderon.
Yeah, there you go.
Where did Barbosa go to college? Why can't I remember that?
Leandro Barbosa, I don't think he went to college.
Oh, okay. Thought maybe there was a chance he was a Cardinal.
No.
Another foul. Jessen draws that one on Michael Lee. So this will be a UAB lineup here. 17.5 to go. You're leaning into this spot if you're UAB, where now you're just trying to hold Louisville from garnering any chances for goals. Nearly at the same time, you'd love to make this a 3-1 match.
Yeah, and you take your time on these set pieces too. Eat up some clock. The clock's running in this situation, so it's a real opportunity for UAB in a variety of areas.
Nearly caught up to on that slide by Carson Bryce. Another freshman.
Just a bit too forward for Bryce, but a great opportunity there on the back post. A good delivery.
Kahoa Lee well out of bounds. You're playing with house money now if you're the Blazers.
Yeah, and they've played with so much confidence in the second half. They came out causing a little bit more havoc with their front four, forcing Louisville's defenders and goalkeeper to struggle a little bit more in possession, hurry up, made some early turnovers that didn't result anything, but you could tell that they kind of were feeling a little bit more uncomfortable in possession, and next thing you know, they're up 1-0, and then they get the quick go-ahead goal after Louisville tied it. Really put their stamp on this game, UAB.
DeBlas is looking for Sonder Road. Helt quickly parries that one out of play. Nearing the final 15 of this matchup. Holstein, a good hit. Had the room and time. An experienced player, he can hit it from range now.
Holstein sizing that thing up. A really good left-footed hit there. Almost But you got to try something at this point for Louisville. They're just not really, with the exception of the goal sequence, they have not really tested the goalkeeper a whole lot in Montenegro.
So Fredall, Vasquez, and Subashan come on for Holenstein, Kondich, and Lee. So a little bit of a different complexion as far as the attack goes. Fredall, a player that you really like the way that he moves this offense or forces other guys to move into position.
Yeah, he's a guy who can really help and gives them width. He's creative with his passing ideas, so we'll see if that's somebody who can maybe mix things up a little bit for Louisville. Subashan is another guy who I would love to see him show a little bit more of that verve and daring, bravery, whatever word you want to use, that he showed last year when the ball was at his feet. A little more unsure of himself this year than he was.
He's had moments. I think that Notre Dame goal you could point to as a really confident hit.
And you want to just see that. I know it's a tall order, but you want to just see that. Yes, see there. Look, I don't care that he skied that. I like that he tried it. Because that's the type of guy on this Louisville team that you want to see try those things. And he's not going to do that every time. He's not going to send it to Rosie every time. He's going to at least make something happen with it. So Louisville just needs something here in these final 13 minutes where they're stretching the defense and they're really forcing UAB to think about what they're doing defensively, because it just has not been a game where they've done that a whole lot tonight.
It's that sort of game within the game around what you're doing to confidently stride and move your team. Because I feel like just having caught a bunch of soccer, like UAB in this position here with Rizzo. That one outside the net. You build sequences that gain more confidence, like that one, Simon.
Yeah, it's a momentum game, you know, and UAB has felt like they've had more of the momentum in the second half. And Louisville just has not been able to kind of pulling the waves and making the game be played in their attacking third, attacking half. It just hasn't been that way. Now we're starting to see guys hit the ball a little bit. Just don't want to rush it. You got plenty of time. You don't need to rush it. You don't need to get frustrated, but you do need to play with a sense of urgency, confident urgency.
Gragnano and Tommy Case on for the Blazers. Case, the graduate transfer from Seattle. Really good program in the great Northwest. Has some contact there. Gragnano. UAB, very aggressive here. I'd love to see it if you're David Lilly and the rest of the staff. Kahoa Lee. Back inside to TJ. Ready for it. Outside to Fredall. Fredall, too strong. And you can sense after Sandra Rhodes' reaction, a couple other guys just body language-wise, Jeff, not all in sync right now.
Yeah, it's not great, Joey. It's noticeable from up here.
Yeah,
it's not great.
In a game like this where scoring is not always the most achievable commodity right away, right? You are banking on momentum, just like you say, to really pull you through in those moments. What do you need to see out of some of your leaders there if everyone's body language is down? What do you have to see out of the sequence?
More stuff like this, just something different, something daring.
I mean, Louisville has it here. Vasquez inside. McKenna, another boot on it. He's been really solid in the back tonight. And he's well familiar with the David Lilly program. Came over from Eastern Tennessee.
But again, if you're Louisville, look, Vasquez just showed you what you need to do. Showed a little explosion, willingness to take guys on, got in line. The final product wasn't there, but just got to have that little extra oomph to your play here late. I know it's hard. It's late in the game. And UAB's defended well. I mean, don't get me wrong. They've made things frustrating for Louisville, but the leadership of this team just needs to keep spurring their guys on and keep telling them that they can score. They've already done it once. There's no reason to think they can't do it again.
David Lilly said that this is a business trip. We drove the 5 hours, 363 miles from Birmingham up to Louisville. And I think he's right on, because each of the coaches is wearing a black hat with no logo. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but
it's like the Rob Lowe NFL hat.
Just big fans.
Yeah, I love that.
Of hats. But on a serious note, this UAB team certainly not one to trifle with. And he thought that maybe there was a chance in a midweek we might catch Louisville on a tough night. They've got a 2-1 lead with Gragnano, and Guy loses possession there against Agunlian. And that is going to be the first yellow of the night issued for Louisville, this time on Ola Arntzen.
And he knew it immediately based on his reaction. He knew that he caught him. But worse off than the yellow card itself is, again, you're watching the clock move. Well, the yellow card, the clock stops, but they're going to be able to move the clock here, eat some time up in Louisville's defensive half, maybe get an opportunity on frame and just force Louisville to be defending when they really want to be in the other side of the field.
Jolivet sends that one in again. Piela's there. 9 minutes separating UAB from a victory. Louisville here trying to draw and possibly take the lead in a crazy late game sequence. Once again, Road inside off the head there of Carson Bryce. And Gragnano there to catch up to it.
Still really good, though, from Subashan. That's the fight that you want to see.
Ooh.
Your team shows an easy call there. But Subashan fighting through traffic to keep possession. You just need to, between that, you saw the Vasquez run earlier on the other side. You just need to see a little bit more of that fight. And maybe that charges up your teammates a little bit more.
Coleman Jennings
Substitution for UAB.
will substitute here for Alan Melendez, and he'll hand over the captain's armband to Chris McKenna. Will don the lime green on that left arm. David Lilly hails from Scotland, by the way, and he was, of all his players, he talked affectionately about McKenna. That ball's still alive. DeBlasis with Montaneau there.
That was a real chance for Louisville. Montaneau doing a good job to smother that second one. DeBlasis, that's tougher running away from goal like that, but Montano didn't really gauge that first cross, the first ball in very well. Just kind of parried it in front of him.
Great ball for Held to catch up to. Agunlia stymies that chance. There's Rode on the run. Vasquez up to Kaho'ali. Louisville needs it. Kaho'ali deflected by Tommy Case, but it'll be a corner for Louisville. Crowd trying to get behind this team in red.
And that's the deal. You get the crowd into it a little bit more. Down on this side of the field where your crowd is, maybe that's a momentum helper for you.
Rode up top. McKenna there. It was Guerra that was going to be the next head to hit it, likely toward the net. Tommy Case stolen away briefly by Fredall and cleared out of play. Time is of the essence here if you're Louisville. Rhodes somehow got that one away.
Wow.
Really impressive.
Stuck with it.
Yeah. Now, UAB was up 2-0 at the end of the first half against Florida Atlantic. Ended up winning that matchup and gave up a couple goals in the process for their first American Athletic Conference win since 2022. If they are able to find a win against an ACC opponent, would be certainly one that each of these players will remember forever. That's a good ACC opponent, mind you.
Yeah, and especially after the result from earlier this year, you know, the confidence building, losing at North Carolina 1-0, or losing to number 6 North Carolina 1-0. I mean, that gives you some confidence. Yes, you didn't win that game, but you're playing the number 6 team in the country, and I think on paper, no matter how good you are, I think most people would say, yeah, Carolina probably won that game by a couple goals, and they didn't. So you've got the confidence that you can hang with a team like this, and they've showed it in spades tonight. I've been very impressed, especially in the second half with UAB.
Nobody home. Fredall looking the way of Arnson. And you see Arnson even saying shoo to Philip Fredall. They're just not on the same page tonight.
Yeah, that's got to be a conversation that's had away from the field of what's going on here with our communication level. You hope that Josh can get back out there sooner rather than later, and maybe that helps spur some changes that help Louisville.
Kaho'ali along the short corner, trying to cause some chaos inside. Gragnano. Case, cross pitch to Simon Helt. Really talented freshman on the ball. David Lilly, he's just going to trot this one in the corner.
Here's my frustration, Joey, just as a neutral observer of this game. Louisville just had, what, 6 guys in the box, 7 guys in the box, could not get a ball in the diagonal back from the end line was behind everyone who was in the box. So it's the decision making and it's the understanding of the game state. You need to get something into the frame. You need to move people. If you're not able to get across the way, you got to get it to somebody who can, because you've got the bodies in. And instead they're just not quite making the right decisions, and it's got to be frustrating to be one of the guys in the box just like, I am where I'm supposed to be with my team down a goal. Put it in the box and let us see what we can do.
Well, it took a man down and 45 seconds left on the game clock to have Louisville find a goal. And with that ball deflecting off of the official, Enzer Pekesner, this is an important piece of this game, because now the hand changes over to UAB and the clock did not stop. And now a run for Coleman Jennings. Jennings outside toward the net of Guglia. What a save off the line. The freshman steps up.
Yeah, and that's the ball game right there if that doesn't get stopped. But at the same time, and just looking at that clock ticking away, and Ogumlia is not happy that he blocked that shot. He's mad that Louisville's having to defend a corner with 70 seconds left.
DeBlasis sends this one back into play. Nicely done. Final minute to go. Louisville would love nothing more than to draw this game, but UAB could be in the course of history to be an ACC opponent. For Philip Fredhall too long across the way. It was just looking for a teammate. Koa Ali didn't catch up to it in time. Wasn't really even in the area. Here's Saunders Road. Sends one up. Still alive, but nicely headed out. Gragnano on the run. Gragnano takes a hit from Aguglia. Another yellow for Louisville.
Yellow card presented to Louisville's number 3.
Lynn Stadium is 20 seconds away from becoming House of the Dragon. The Blazers flew in and showed up to play. Two goals in unsettled situations. Louisville answered to draw. Lucas Rizzo, the hero. Lynn Stadium becomes House of the Dragon. The Blazers pull off the upset over the Louisville Cardinals.